This is IFV, the web space with your dose of business and financial news. In full view, we're making your business our business.
Welcome to In Full View. I'm Marcella Palmer, bringing you the week's medium and small business news. This week, journalist, speaker, and author Judy Martin talks about an extraordinary cultural shift into what she calls the work-life nation, a fusing of our working and living experience in a high-tech global age. The founder of WorkLifeNation.com and Judy Martin Speaks has more on this emerging culture of enlightenment.
My company is Judy Martin Speaks. I'm the founder of WorkLifeNation.com. I've been a television anchor for about 20 years. I also worked in radio since 2001, since the time of 9/11. I was working for Marketplace Morning Report, which is heard on NPR. It's the #1 business show. And during that time, I was there for about 4 years or so, and that's when I really got into business news. 9/11 really brought me to my knees. I was working for Marketplace Morning Report, as heard on NPR at the time, and covering corporations, covering the markets, things of that nature, and also anchoring occasionally over at News 12 Long Island. But what happened was my cameraman, my photographer from News 12 was killed. And that, of course, sent me reeling. Everyone has their own 9/11 experience, but for me, it really threw the lights on for me because I was forced to be a reporter and also be a human being at the same time. So I had to cover his funeral, for example, and I really knew and understood what it was like to have to work and deal with crisis at the same time. So because of that, I really became interested in the corporate structure and corporate workplace structure. How do we deal with crisis? How do we deal with the information overload? How do we deal with a death in the family or taking care of an elderly parent? It became very apparent that this was going to be really the next big issue in the workplace, and it certainly has become that.
And this sets you on the road to entrepreneurship and what you're doing today?
It really did. About 3 years ago, I started WorkLifeNation.com, and what that is news, tips to reduce stress and really create more success for yourself. It's success, serenity, and significance 24/7. I wanted to bring to the viewership and those who are clicking on WorkLifeNation.com information about the companies, the people, the innovations that were helping to make that work-life merge a better journey of exploration. And we've all dabbled in the idea of work-life balance. I don't think there's any such thing as work-life balance per se, but we are certainly faced with that merge. We've got dual-income families. Women are now half the workforce. We're taking care of our kids. We're taking care of our elderly parents at the same time. And we're just coming out of recession. We're still in recovery. And a lot of us want to do what we love. We're more interested in vocation, not necessarily just the 9-to-5 job anymore, because the recession slashed our 401ks and the future became very uncertain. So heck, why don't I try something new, something I'm more interested in? And that's certainly what I did at Work Life Nation. So I'm covering these issues, trying to bring these stories to the public, along with the studies, the academic studies, the colleges, and the research institutes that are looking into these issues. And at the same time, I teach executives how to de-stress, how to work with their time management, employee assistance programs to help them deal with crisis in the workplace, just like I did. I developed a program called Practical Chaos, and it's a 4-step program that really allows you to take a look at crisis and turn it around and use it in a better way and channel that energy in a better way. And during 9/11, during the day I worked, of course, as a news reporter, but at night and on the weekends, I volunteered with the children of the victims down at Pier 94. It created an ability for me to give back and also grieve at the same time. So I was able to channel that energy in a good way. And from that, as I said before, really was born Work Life Nation. We are not just leaving our souls and our minds at the door anymore. There's a merge going on, whether we like it or not. We just have to figure out the best way to do it.
Tell us a little bit about the person or persons who have or has most influenced you on your road to entrepreneurship.
Well, I'm going to sound like one of those commercials, but I love Susie Orman. I really do. One of the reasons is because when I started looking at her material, it was very inspirational, but it also made me realize that I really did not have a clue about being an entrepreneur. I needed to get my finances in order first, and that's something I'm still working on. I think that's something we all struggle with. But as far as moving into entrepreneurism, I'm definitely going to say Pamela Slim, the author of Escape from Cubicle Nation. I read her book. It threw the lights on. I realized and I learned a lot about what I needed to do. It wasn't just about quitting a job. It was about a couple of pointers, really. One of which is know what you love. You can go for what you love, but keep your day job, at least for a little while. Have a plan 6 to 12 months in advance so that you know how are you going to do this, how are you going to lead that cubicle or whatever job it is that you have. If you're not sure about it, maybe you want to apprentice with someone, certainly volunteer, do the kind of work you feel like you're going to be doing even as a consultant. That'll give you a bird's eye view of what you're getting yourself into. And finally, make sure it's something that you can monetize so that you can be successful.
That's all for this week from the IFV News team. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check back every day right here at ifvnews.com for the latest on what's happening around the globe in the medium and small business world.